Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's the 18th of November, November 18th, 2022. The 242nd episode of Risk On. Today, we're going to have Chris Wu, the president of Ault Alliance, on the show. He instrumental in creating a crane company. He bought a crane company for the... Well, let me restart that. We bought Ault Alliance, which is a subsidiary of BitNow Holdings, the one that we're talking about being publicly reporting next year, the one that we hope someday to dividend out to shareholders. By the way, we're going to have special news about the dividend for Turn on Green on Tuesday after we report earnings on Monday.
Nice.
What could that be?
I have no idea.
Anyways, Chris Wu is going to be on the show. I got Crypto Joe in for Jason because Jason doesn't feel well. But not the only reason. We're going to talk a little Bitcoin today.
All right.
I think we just got another 900 XPs, right?
Yep.
We keep cranking along. Ironically, the original thesis was we love Bitcoin, Bitcoin only.
Yep.
And the only thing I think is going to survive is
I
Bitcoin.
think it is, too.
That's probably the only thing. I think Chris would probably agree, too, that Bitcoin, being a Bitcoin purist, makes sense. But before we get to Chris real quick, as I said, this is Friday, the 18th of November. And earlier in the year, we had a Risk On Business Conference back in Vegas, and we had Daymond John, the original shark, on the show. It was great. It's going to air on December 1st. I don't know why I'm having a little trouble here. At 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Hey, let's roll the clip on Daymond John. That was a fun interview, by the way. He was a good guy.
When you're doing things and understand that entrepreneurship is a lonely, lonely sport, you know that. When you understand the lonely aspect of entrepreneurship and you're gonna always hear no, then you're ready for entrepreneurship. But then you understand you're gonna change people's lives. You're gonna empower people, right? You're gonna challenge yourself every single day. You're gonna leave yourselves, your kids, maybe inherency, but definitely a legacy. When you understand and you grasp these things, then you're unstoppable. You just got to understand these things.
Anyways, that's going to air on December 1st at 6 p.m. You can find it on the YouTube channel, Todd Ault. It's a Risk On show. He was a great guest. I enjoyed. Did you get to meet him?
Oh, I did. He was great.
Yeah, he was fun.
He was.
He was very kind. I got to meet him. I've stayed in contact with him. Talked a lot of business strategy about how many deals went right for him, how many deals went wrong. I really kind of like that.
I think he's just a totally interesting guy, the way he deals business. I mean,
you remember when we talked about the farm?
Yeah.
This will be a good interview. We talked about his farm. We talked about his most successful deals, how he finds deals, etc. Before we get to Chris, speaking of deals, Chris, by the way, Chris was instrumental in financing the Fouquet Hotel, $146 million plus about 20 or 30 million worth of equity. And the Fouquet Hotel has opened a soft launch in September. We just had an event there with Anthony Scaramucci, and that was great. And Chris was instrumental. He was a banker before he joined us at Tenejo, and he really organized the reorganization of that and was instrumental in getting a deal done there. We unveiled the site. We unveiled the hotel. It's beautiful. It's probably the best I've seen, one of the nicest hotels I've ever been. Wait, were you there?
I was not, but I've seen the hotel.
Oh, you have. But Chris was there for sure. And I have an upcoming book, forthcoming book called Risk On, The 7 Rules of Building a $1 Billion Career in Business. Let's roll the clip of us attending that event. Yep. So Chris, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
Chris, I was just showing the beautiful hotel that you helped get done at Fouquet's. You were there. What are your thoughts on the outcome of the hotel?
Well, I mean, I'm proud of it. I'm proud to have been involved and played my little role in helping resuscitate what was really, the last parcel in that part of the city, to build a hotel or anything meaningful. And so, it was really a fun ride. We had some good partners. You were a great partner. There's a lot of attributes in terms of the risk on story that I think resonate, which is, stick-to-itiveness, creativity, put your passion in it, and good things will happen. And so it's certainly one really good story. And when you walk around the hotel and experience the care and passion that went into building that property, I have very little doubt now, having experienced it and along the way, that it will be the premier boutique hotel in New York City that people will love to come visit and that we can be proud of.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the market cap of Nile and thinking about the real estate holdings you and I have accumulated with the hotels we bought in the Midwest. That was 23 million, and then the property in St. Pete, and then the hotel in New York, and then the data center. I add that 65 million of equity. Now I could be plus or minus. Real estate values can go up or down. I want to make sure I give you all the caveats. This is not a audited financial statement for the value of the real estate. But if the market cap of the company was 49 million or 50, and the real estate's worth 65 million in terms of equity, I'm in a different world. I live in a different universe. Because today, Chris, you announced a very strategic acquisition you were looking at for a long time. When you came to the company, you and I talked about infrastructure. We talked about the architectural firm which you tried to buy. And although we got a breakup fee where we're not able to buy it, someone else paid just a little more than we did. We are price sensitive. And so Chris has been working on buying a crane company. And when Chris and I spoke, we talked a lot about infrastructure, about the future of infrastructure. And I want to roll a clip on my computer real quickly. Hopefully Chris can see it. I'm going to roll a clip real quick. You ready, Brett? This is a Grove crane. I want just you guys to see what kind of cranes these are. And then I want... What? You don't have any feed? All right, we'll come back to that while you're working on this. But, Chris, talk about the crane acquisition and how many cranes there are. I believe there's 53 cranes, but I don't want to misquote the number of cranes. But this is a big business, been around since 2007, run by, I believe, two brothers that have successfully built a business and work in oil and gas, the oil and gas fields. Tell us about the crane company.
Yeah, well, we're very excited about it. I think, it's transformational, number one, for Bitnell and for Ault Alliance. It was one of the reasons why I felt like I could partner with the company, join the company, and help bring opportunities like this, because my whole career, I see, good company, bad balance sheet, inefficient sort of, opportunities that aren't sort of, the values aren't reflected. And we had an opportunity to recapitalize this business and reposition it for growth, a company that has a lot of goodwill in the space, great customers, long track record, and well known for safety. So we're buying what I call a really terrific platform that we think has legs and can extend into infrastructure. And I think we all know this, but the infrastructure in our country is aging. There's going to be lots of dollars spent on bridges and roads and all kinds of transportation infrastructure in addition to oil and gas. So our view is to move into downstream businesses, and this is a great platform to do it. So we're excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. How many? Can you remind me again? I know you might have just said it, but someone was trying to set up the video. We're having a little bit of a trouble with the video here. How many cranes again are we going to have?
I mean, we're going to have to start over 50, and these aren't sort of small cranes. These are anywhere from 20 tons to, 300-ton mobile cranes, and primarily cranes that are manufactured in Europe and the U.S. and are, based on, Manitowoc's Grove brand, where the company has really focused. And, we might even diversify some of our sourcing in terms of cranes from a global perspective.
But Grove cranes are really like the industry standard, right? Isn't that one of the nicest cranes around? These 250-ton
I
Grove
think
cranes.
I think they're widely accepted, well known for quality. I think they're basically in the same level as Liebherr, which is another great crane manufacturer, European.
What do you make of us making a $40 million acquisition and the market cap of the whole company being $49 million?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be really great to provide additional stability in addition to the commercial real estate properties you mentioned, which are doing great, by the way. Our small portfolio in the Midwest that I think we're going to expand is generating very strong NOI, and we're completely back from COVID. And I think when we look at it, in hindsight later in the future, we'll realize we took some risk to buy it, just as we're coming out of COVID, and the pricing that we got was favorable, and we also have a great team. So I think when you add, cash flowing businesses with very strong margin that has operational stability and room for growth to stable commercial real estate assets producing net operating income, I think it gives Ault Alliance as well as other parts of the enterprise an opportunity to continue to raise capital, find great platforms, and develop a stable portfolio of companies.
In December, it'll be 1 year since you closed on the hotels. This deal will close in December too. At this point, do you think I know we have earnings coming up on Monday? We're going to report after the close, but on your schedule right now. No, we're going to try to digest these acquisitions, right? So we don't really have anything major on the agenda right now after the crane company, do we?
We don't. I mean, obviously, we're an opportunistic investor. It was disclosed that we partnered with friends of ours who we know have a tremendous amount of expertise, a group by the name of Paramount, who are equipment rental and leasing experts, and a group of people who have collectively over 100 years of experience. So we do have great partners, and if we find good partners, with sector expertise in other situations, we'd be open to that. But obviously, we have to get comfortable with what we own and make sure that they're on a good trajectory. So we don't have anything after this that's on the horizon.
Chris, before you leave, I want to play one of the crane videos, and then I'd like to get your commentary. You and I and Joe are going to switch the conversation to Bitcoin a little bit. So let's roll the tape on crane. It's so cool.
It is so
I
cool.
can't believe we were able to buy this company the way you got it done, Chris. I mean, really, congratulations to you and Paramount Lifting. Congratulations to the team at Grove. They got a good partner who cares about what they're doing, and obviously I know some of the management team you've introduced me to by phone, and I can't wait to talk about who you're bringing on. I mean, I'm mesmerized at where they are and where they're coming from, so I'm pretty mesmerized. Chris, congratulations.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
buddy.
It was a labor of love, and I'm very pleased for all of us.
Chris, I wanted to talk about Bitcoin. I know that you and I are Bitcoin purists, although you do like some of that other fancy dancy other kinds of coins out there. At least I remember you liking some of them. But
not enough to own them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Can we just talk about maybe? I mean, one of the things that I was attracted to with Earnity is that your coins are put into trust and they're not on their balance sheet, so they can't lend out your coin. They don't mess with your coin. That turns out to be the right thing to do. I remember you and I having this conversation a year and a half ago. I'm saying, hey, this is making me nervous that these guys are doing this. And sure enough, you and I invested in something where when you buy your Bitcoin, it's your Bitcoin. You got to give them credit for that, although they haven't grown like we want them to yet. They're in business, and FTX and Voyager aren't.
Wow, that's rough, but it's true.
What's even rougher is when people call me, not Voyager. I like the people there, but there are people at other exchanges that have called me for loans. And yeah, we're grouped into it. Our stock is trading way down. And I know people don't like us right now. We're not in favor. But it is ironic that people that didn't want to talk to me are ringing my phone.
It is.
See, you got to be nice to people on your way up, because on your way down, you're going to see them again. And that's why a lot of people who've been with me, like Joe, for more than you're in your second decade.
I am.
And Joe, as he's seen me at my worst when I've been the most stressed, but you stayed with me because I think I treat you fair.
Yep, I agree.
And we're friends.
We are.
Right? And you're the longest standing employee I've had continue, I think, in history, right?
I think so.
But to digress to history, what do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin here, Chris? By the way, Chris, I feel like I should tell you ahead of time, I'm more convinced now than ever that Bitcoin's here to stay. So I don't want to set you up for me to have an opposite opinion. You're free to say what you want, but I'm going on record and saying we're still mining Bitcoin. We still make a profit here at Bitcoin. Now, obviously, you got to depreciate those machines. That's a different answer. But from a cash flow perspective, we still mine coin and we make it a profit
every day.
Now, I got to give you all the bells and whistles that's subject to volatility of price and difficulty and power cost, et cetera, because I know everybody's listening to every word so they can figure out how to sue me. I'm just kidding around. Chris, can you turn on my thing for me, please? Hey, so Chris, what's your thoughts on Bitcoin?
Well, I mean, I still have the same thesis that I did before the shakedown or crypto winter or whatever you want to call it. It's it's gone through its cycles before, but I have to tell you, when I first started looking at Bitcoin, I read everything I could about it, and I spent maybe 9 months absorbing everything I could about it. And it was a thing that I discovered that didn't exist in the world that I was waiting for. And it has the same features as it does before. It was becoming more institutionally adopted. And I still don't view Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, but more of a store of value. And from a store of value perspective, it has all those features that we don't have in fiat. And so my view is more fundamentally, driven by the economics of what this technology and what this discovery is that it's revolutionary. And that's why it's holding value now. But obviously, as an asset class, We need more time. We need more trust in the system. And it's just ironic that what's creating this risk on, risk off environment is a switch that the Fed switches on when it's convenient for them. And I'm not going to second guess what we had to do after COVID or what we had to do after the Great Recession, but it's really this change that happened beginning with the Greenspan years, where all central bankers have decided that they know how to attenuate the economic cycle. And as long as we're in that fiction of fiat, it's impossible for normal people to store their values, store their time, store the energy, their life's work, which is what money is supposed to do. And Bitcoin does that, but obviously the caveat is buy it and hold it and don't spend it and treat it like any other asset class. And your allocation, as long as it's non-zero, should be a valuable part of your diversification. So I remain supremely comfortable with the asset. And, I think we all understand that the FTX and the Voyager and the Celsius and whatever other shoe may drop is sort of, the crypto industry's, Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns moment. It is significant. I think it does deter adoption. And, that means it's just an opportunity for those of us who have spent the time. And therefore, if you spent the time, you can underwrite your own risk, and that's up to everybody. But we can just hodl at these levels at prices that, will increase, over time.
Joe?
At a rate that's higher than other assets.
I'm just actually kind of curious about what you said, because I was going to ask you about, is it like a Lehman Brothers moment? Because, they're now predicting, some people are predicting a floor of close to 12,000, but then you've got someone like Man Group going out and announcing that they're going to create a crypto-based hedge fund, right? Where do you see all the other cryptocurrencies land? I mean, I get we're talking about Bitcoin, but does Ethereum centralizing change the game for everybody, right? Because Ethereum has basically centralized their coin at this point. It's built on the blockchain, but it's a centralized currency. So, and other people are talking about moving to proof of stake, while some and some new coins, and again, it's Bitcoin, but they talk about going to proof of work. And my standpoint as a purist is keep all your coins out of any exchange, right? Don't do lending platforms, but proof of work is always going to be better, because you have to do something to earn that, right? And everybody can participate.
Well, exactly. So, I mean, I think proof of work is the standard. What the nodes and all the miners and what people who participate in the Bitcoin network do is ensure, the trustless transactions are secure, and that everything is transacted and done per the protocol. And there's a cost to that. There's something worth fighting for, which is the integrity of the system. And therefore, if you go to proof of stake, then you may have just transacted on it and you may own it, but you can't verify the validity of it, and weakens the system. And so Ethereum, since it's widely adopted as a very user friendly blockchain that enables all this innovation, they do have the network value, which is simply that they've created a system in which developers and people seeking blockchain applications have been able to utilize the Ethereum network and build their technologies. But it's not, I wouldn't view it as a store of value. It has a utility insofar as being used. I think other coins will simply have to prove without the hype that they actually have the utility. And once they have the utility, there'll be the adoption. So the blockchain technology, I think, the venture capital world, private equity world, strategic world will continue to enhance blockchain so that you can transform every industry, which means that everybody who's charging unjust economic rents in every industry can be disintermediated. So that work will continue.
Chris, appreciate your time today. Appreciate you being here. Congratulations on the purchase of Circle 8, the crane company.
Yep.
When you look at what we're doing in consumer electronics, now it's important for people who are watching the show because they're talking about Nile to understand that BitNile Holdings is spinning off Turn On Green, and that's a special dividend of 140 million shares of common and 140 million warrants to the shareholders of Nile, which is forthcoming. Then Gresham, the defense company, gets spun out, which is Giga, G-I-G-A, and that's 7 million shares. Their stock, I think, is around $15-20 million. So that's a big dividend relative to the size of the market cap of Nile.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, the big Kahuna, which is the 400 million plus, I think it's 500 million plus in assets of Ault Alliance. And inside Ault Alliance is this Circle 8 company that Chris is overseeing from a private equity perspective. We will consolidate those results, those sales of 40 million plus that free cash flow will be on our balance sheet. So we continue to build away as others think the world's coming to an end. I don't know what to say to them about that. But Chris, I appreciate the effort to keep your head down, keep working hard. We got hotels in the portfolio in the Midwest now, 2 Marriotts, 2 Hiltons, and the Fouquet, which is we're a partner in. We own the 4 hotels. The one in New York we're a partner in. Congratulations, Chris, and I'll catch up with you later today.
Okay.
Thanks for your commentary. We'll catch up soon. Your thoughts on your final thoughts on Bitcoin right now?
My final thoughts on Bitcoin is
today.
We're probably till year end stuck in this doldrum, but after that, I think it ramps.
Chris, if you're still with us, he took off. That's okay. I cannot believe the rampant stuff I'm reading about, the crazy stuff I'm reading about FTX. Oh my God. Regulations coming on those exchanges for sure. You got Bitcoin at 16,637. You're coming up on the holiday weekend next week. We're wrapping up. I only think we got about 30 trading days of the year left.
Yep.
Coinbase under pressure.
Your boys are getting involved.
Who's that?
FINRA.
Yeah. One thing I will say for sure that a couple commentaries before we go to the joke today. Christy, you ready for that joke?
I am ready.
Okay, cool. We got the beautiful Christy, our producer, handling the. She's in for Skyla, who's on her way to see some family members. I'll tell you what concerns me, and I'm going to start doing this on a regular basis when I have like the wrap up. This headline right here. Donald Trump announced he's running for president. You can go to my screen real quick. And then you see this morning, a special counsel appointed.
I saw that.
This is not a good thing.
No.
You got a special counsel and investigating a former president, and that person's running for president. That's a recipe for not good things. Something to think about. We talked about the Fed raising rates. I think they've overshot. When you go down a little further, I point out to you guys that Mark Cuban has a commentary on what's happened with FTX, and he still believes in crypto. So check out that article. And as we wrap up here, what do we got for Nile on Monday? We got earnings after the bell. Then we got a Tuesday special press release on Turn On Green. This is an important press release. A lot of information packed in there about the special dividend that'll be out on Tuesday morning. Got a lot. We still got a packed week for Thanksgiving.
We have a super packed week for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and then we're going to finish out the year. We got Gresham after that, and then it's on to the new year.
Loading up more miners. You forgot that. That's all next week too.
You want more miners, right?
More miners.
You know, I don't know that people care. We keep mining, but you know. We keep mining. We keep putting more miners in. We're just committed to the process of getting Bitcoin, right?
And supporting the network, right?
I guess it does look good that we had sold all that Bitcoin above 30,000. We sold some at 22, 25, 27. Sold all over the place. But in retrospect, that 10 million worth of Bitcoin.
Yep.
Oh, boy. I guess it's good in retrospect that we were able to sell that at higher levels. We did that to pay down debt. I don't know that I'm feeling too bad about what happened in March now. I mean, a lot of those companies that wouldn't help us out are not in business anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's a shame. Hopefully,
it is.
By the way, what's going on with Twitter, man? 1,200 people quit?
Well, that was their stance, right? Because he put out that crazy message that said, if you don't sign this by Thursday at midnight, you get 3 months severance. And then he tried to walk back the whole come to work in the office place. I mean, it's getting crazy. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, a little messy. Christy, I understand you have a themed-based joke today.
I do. To commemorate your purchase of the crane company, I have a crane joke.
Let's hear it.
What's it called when you lift a porta potty off the roof of a 2-story building with a crane?
Oh, God. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Perfect.
What is it?
Taking that shit to the next level.
All right. Hey, everybody, this is Risk On. It's the 242nd episode of Risk On. Special thanks to Christy for sitting in for Skylar, our producer, Joe for sitting in for Jason, Nick and Brett, Chris Wu, congratulations on the purchase. Remember, pay attention to Tuesday. Got a lot going on next week.
Yep.
Appreciate everybody. By the way, I get to tell you something exciting. The forthcoming book is coming. All the people who watch the show, I'm going to give you a special opportunity to get that book. I like the book. I read it because I wrote it. I did.
Just what?
But I will tell you, there's some really cool stuff going on with the Risk On Business Conference next year. I really, really am excited about what John Stewart's doing with the Risk On Business Conference.
That's going to be neat.
We have a really unique thesis on what he's doing there.
Don't give it away.
I can't do it. I'm not going to give it away. But I am excited about what we're doing. I'm excited about the new year. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. Yes, because my wife is the very best cook in the world. She cooks the best turkey, the best stuffing, best everything. And then right after that's my birthday. Then we have the holidays, the Christmas party, New Year's. It's the best time of the year. I got my buddy Jason's birthday, Andrea's birthday, Gary's birthday. There's a couple other birthdays.
Big one.
Nick's birthday. There's a bunch of birthdays in December. There's a ton of birthdays. Hey, Logan James, I see you out there. I got you a die cast. Don't you worry about that. I got the new BitNow cars coming out soon. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
Gonna have a bunch of things to give away to the audience next year.
It's gonna be exciting.
I'm so excited. So everybody, thank you so much. Risk On, and we'll see you later.